Okay, so here's my final sculpt of this assignment for week 4 and my reflection of the week. So, first off, I'm not really proud of this sculpt. I'm not really proud of the retopology, and I'm not really happy with it at all. So I'm probably going to redo it later down the line. But before I redo the retopology, as a whole, I would most likely be going back to the sculpting part in ZBrush to actually refine the sculpt because as I was retopologizing it, I realized that certain quads, whenever I was trying to quad draw, started making holes in certain things, and some of the mesh wasn't even with each other and are not symmetrical. So I had to pretty much do everything uh, by on each side. So in other words, I could not mirror everything over, so everything's not symmetrical on this retopology at all. Um, so I'll most likely be going back and doing that and probably refining the scope and trying to get everything symmetrical. But after that, I'll retopologize it. And knowing how time consuming this is, I actually spent like 15 hours on this retopology and had to redo it at least 4 different times. Uh, and I'm still trying to get it right. But one of the things I'll probably end up fixing during the retopology stage, like the instructor said, the edge flow is not perfect. There are some crossing in the edges. For instance, on the nose, I wanted to go directly around, but I found myself wandering throughout the retopology. So let me show you what I mean. So this, for instance, it goes around, I think, let me see. I think this is the actually, this one does go all the way around, I'm guessing. But, a second, take off the, let me hide that real quick. And now let's go back to the body and go to edges. Okay, well, this one doesn't really go all the way around. It actually stops, as you can see right here. So we want that to go all the way around and try to smooth that out. But if you were to look at the other ones, you see, yeah, they end up stopping at certain points. And as you get closer to the front, as you can see, there is some crossing here that I'll have to fix. And because this is actually supposed to connect to this here, but this isn't really lined up properly with this in order to line it up. So I have to go back and fix a bunch of things on the retopology. As you can also see here, it's starting to curve in a lot on this right here instead of actually looping around the eye like we want. So whenever you do click on the edge on this, it has a ton of crossing and everything right there. So I'll have to go back and redo the entire retopology, like I said. Um, Also, I don't know if the instructor probably realized this, but on the shirt, while I was quad drawing it, it wouldn't line up properly. So let me hide the vest so you can actually see that and hide the pants here. So as you can see on the shirt itself, it's not fully lined up properly. It actually shrinks towards as you go back. And as you can see on this side, it lines up. But on this side, it's not lined up. And that's because, like I said, while I was modeling this, it was not symmetrical. And so certain sides look completely different. And as I was trying to smooth it out and actually get it to actually line up with the shirt on this other side, it did not line up properly. And as you can see, it actually made this little dip here. So I'll have to go back and fix that as well. But after I fix all that, I do plan on going to retexturing it in Substance Painter. Um, but I also don't want to just do substance painter. I also want to refine the details, make it look more realistic. Probably add a little bit more definition to the mouth and the nose and the creases of this in order to make it look more believable. As for the UVs itself, I have to say the UVs on this, I unwrap them, cut some things out, but I know that it's probably not correct. So let me select all this. Probably gonna have to go back and unhide that. Show this real quick so you can see all the UVs. But as you can see on the UVs here, I line them all up pretty much. So if you were to select certain things, it'll show where the gloves are. These are both the gloves together right here. Um, and then the shoes. The shoes were a little bit more easier because they were actually um, a little bit more uh, put together than everything else. But some other things were not so easy. The shirt was a little bit easy. The pants, um, the beard was easy, but things like the gloves, that was a little bit hard because I had to break it down into a bunch of pieces. I had to get in between the fingers, and getting in between the fingers was a little bit difficult. As for the body was a little bit better. I basically just followed the shape of the body. The hat, like I said, pretty easy. Basically just followed the shape of the hat and basically broke it down into what a hat would normally look like in stitching, pretty much. Um, but other than that, I think the UVs turned out pretty good. I know the instructor told me that he wanted seams in it, but I couldn't really figure out what he meant by that because I didn't really go through the video on the UVs because I already knew how to do UVs. But he wanted me to add seams, and he told me to look at lecture 3, but I didn't really see anything in lecture 3. It was basically blank. So I basically just submitted what I had originally. Um, but yeah, all together, I think it looked pretty good. But my plans are to go back, resculpt it, retopologize it, re-UV map it, and then go and transfer it into ZBrush and refine it a little bit more, and then go back to Substance Painter and basically make it a little bit better in Substance Painter as well, and texture it, give it a little bit of shine, that skin texture, and everything like that, lighting and everything. But that's my goal for this mesh. But I'm probably gonna just go back, redo the entire mesh to actually get it looking right because the hat's not right, the eyebrows are not right, the hands are not right completely. Um, but yeah, that's my plan for this mesh. And for the class this month, my most difficult thing was the retopology by far. That's the most difficult for me. Um, UV is not so hard, but because all you have to do is really cut and unfold everything and make sure everything over here is blue, and not red. So uh, I'll have to do some research on what the seams are to get that in there. But yeah, that's my goal for this. But for this class, uh, it's basically been hard for me, um, but a great learning experience. Plan on redoing this. Plan on practicing it a lot more. But yeah, thanks for watching.